Riveting content. Empowering your life. Welcome to the Sphere. This episode is sponsored by Elite Dental Wellness. At Elite Dental Wellness, Dr. Ashandra Batiste understands that one of the biggest obstacles is dental fear. The vision at Elite Dental Wellness is to ensure every patient is treated with respect, ultimate care, patience, and love. Call us today to make an appointment at area code 713-789-8680. Looking to advertise? Join the Sphere's vast demographic reach of thousands of people all over the world. Send an email today to advertise@thesphere.tv or call us at area code 832-772-7789. Kog Company. Are your unique gifts and talents changing the world? Do you desire to belong to a community of unity? Visit KOGpassion.com to learn more about the Unleash Your Dopeness movement.
Hello, everyone, and welcome back to the Money Factor here on the Sphere. My name is LaShonda Johnson, certified financial educator and also the co-founder of Houston Housewives of Finance Official. And this morning, we're very happy and excited to be able to have my co-host with me this morning. You guys know him. If you don't know him, you've seen him around. You're going to be seeing a lot of him coming in the future. My guest co-host today is Mr. Ahmad Scott with Millennials and Money.
Good morning, everyone. It's Millennial Monday. We're taking over. We're invading the Money Factor today.
Yes. So Millennial Monday, Generation X Monday, whatever. Everybody's Monday. So welcome back, everybody. We're going to have an exciting show for you today. So definitely make sure that you tune in, share the show, because the first 15 minutes of the show, we're going to be live on Facebook. And that's every Monday. So don't forget to share and like the show. So Ahmad, you excited about today?
Very excited. We have a very good topic to discuss. Talking about investments.
Yes.
And this is something that millennials, we get a lot in our office.
Mm-hmm.
We get it coming through the Millennials and Money feed on all our social networking sites. So this is something I'm glad that we can discuss and get more into.
Yes. So the exciting thing is that we're still in our financial foundation series. So I know you guys are thinking, oh my gosh, how long are you guys going to be in that? Well, until we get through.
Right? So we're at the very top, right?
Yes, we're at the very top, which is investments. And we still have a lot to talk about because this is a topic that people tend to be a little bit intimidated by. And so we want to make sure that people learn the proper way to start jumping into investments. It's something that needs the proper attention.
Correct.
And it is your money. And of course, we advocate becoming your own money manager. And so we want to be able to help equip you with the proper education to be able to make the decisions that you make.
Yes.
So this morning, we're going to start off by looking at an article. And I shared this, Ahmad, probably about 3 weeks ago, give or take. I tweeted it, put it out on LinkedIn because I thought it was pretty interesting.
It was a very good article. When I read it, I laughed because it convicted me. I was guilty of a couple of them. So I had to raise my hand and say, okay, that's been me a time or two, right?
Yes. So me too. I mean, we're financial professionals, but we're not perfect.
Right.
And so we're on our journey too, as we help you guys to take your journey towards financial freedom and financial independence. So let's take a look at this article. It is in what's called Wise Bread. Okay, so it talks about, are your emotions costing you money? Okay. And I mean, just looking at that title, I know women, as you know, being a woman myself, emotions can cost us a lot of things, and money is definitely one of them. But both male and female alike can be caught up in this cycle.
Very true.
Yes. So let's take a look at the article. If you're watching us, then you can absolutely see it. If you are listening to us, you can definitely go back to thesphere.tv and the link will be provided for you. It says, building a strong financial foundation for you and your family requires discipline. That is an incredible start. I mean, that's a mouthful right there. And that's kind of the mantra of what we do here at the Houston Housewives of Finance Official, and also Millennials and Money and all of our other brands and our national campaign for financial literacy. this is what we're screaming and shouting. You have to build a foundation, but it takes discipline to do it. It requires patience. It requires a steady mindset. And so, providing financial education starts with equipping you to have the right mindset to be able to do these things. But even the best of us have found ourselves spending and making financial decisions based on emotions, whether that's retail therapy or holding off on investing due to fear of the markets. We've made decisions based on joy or comfort in the short term instead of satisfaction in the long run. Are you letting your emotions control your finances? Answer these questions to find out. So before we go into these questions,
can we get back into that,
yes,
that opening topic?
The opening topic.
Wow. So the discipline, right? We did a series at the office a while back on emotional discipline.
Yes.
Not being emotionally disciplined can cost you a lot, as you said.
Yes.
Not just your money, it can cost you so many things. So getting that piece down, it's a mountain to climb.
Yes.
But as they said,
yes.
taking steady steps and a steady mindset. And the article also touched on having that joy, that retail therapy, wanting to go ahead and appease yourself.
Yeah, I'm going to be honest. It feels good when you go make a purchase. I mean, right. I'm being real. And sometimes that's, just having that new something makes you feel really good. Sometimes when you order something, okay, I keep talking about sometimes. This is confessions.
Let me guess, you have Amazon Prime, right?
I do, but I don't really use it a lot. Okay. I mean, I have some other things like Guilt and Hot Look and Rue La La. So those kind of things, I don't have a lot of time. So I may spend a little bit of time on the line and pick up something here or there.
Makes sense.
And it's just
Makes
the
sense.
Excitement and the adrenaline rush that you get when you get home and you have a package there and you're like, woo!
So do you not experience that buyer's remorse that you get?
Oh, yeah, I do that all the time. I do that, especially because in my profession, I'm thinking, I really shouldn't have done that. I can easily just package this up and send it back. And so, I mean, I understand how you feel, but at the same time, the mindset, having the proper mindset allows you to kind of think through those situations and say, okay, so that's going to bring me some temporary pleasure. It's not going to solve anything.
Correct.
So being able to revert back to, the strong foundation that you have and being able to say, okay, I need to find some satisfaction someplace else instead of doing these things. So retail therapy.
And it also goes down into the other parts that you guys covered, the protection, the debt management, the emergency fund, that if you budget this into your finances, then yes, you can go out and make these purchases, right?
Right. And you won't feel guilty and have that buyer's remorse later when you do that. However, that's in a perfect world. We're not perfect, but we need to strive for perfection as much as we possibly can as it relates to our finances.
Yes, especially financially. And the article also mentioned at the introduction about fears, right? So going into fears, we're born with only two fears: fear of falling and a fear of loud noises. So every other fear we brought onto ourselves.
Okay, now he done kicked some. Okay.
So every other fear we brought onto ourselves. So some of the things that we fear financially, right, is just in our own head or things that we picked up from other people. So, we try to tell people all the time with the Millennials and Money, scratch those fears, clean the slate, and let's go forward. And, we're going to help you each step of the way.
And I really like that you said that because it's not just a millennial thing, having the fear. It is, every generation has that problem. And typically it's because of the unknown. Of course, fear is fearing the unknown. But how do you change that? Well, you get the education. And so this is perfect time for us to talk about our workshops. Workshops are taking place on Tuesdays and also taking place on Saturdays, Tuesday night, 7 p.m. and Saturday mornings, 10 a.m. And so you can come out so that you can kind of get rid of that fear through education. Financial education, just being equipped with knowledge, is the first step in you being able to make a different decision and not letting intimidation and fear of the markets and things like that, or fear of the unknown, prohibit you from planning for your future. So the address is 2500 East TC Jester Suite 345, and that's Houston 77008. Tuesday night, 7 p.m., Saturday mornings, 10 a.m.
Yes, and
So
as we'll talk about, as you said in the article, you'll learn about becoming your own money manager, and that's so important with these workshops. We teach people we empower them so that they can go out and make the right decisions.
perfect word, empower you.
Yes.
So that you can become a proactive participant in participating and planning for your future. So let's go back to the article.
Okay.
So you want to pick up where I left off?
Yes, it says, do you spend money when you feel sad, happy, or stressed?
Oh my gosh.
You had a bad day at work, so you go on a shopping spree for new shoes. You got a promotion, so you celebrate by taking friends out to eat at a fancy restaurant. That's me. You spend money as a reaction or an antidote to whatever feelings you have at the given moment. And this makes it hard to save money at a healthy rate. You don't need to treat yourself to a costly reward every time you're happy or sad. This is an easy way to fall into dangerous emotional spending cycle.
You know what oh wow. That's heavy. Okay, that's heavy. It gave all the emotions. Happy, sad, glad.
Yes.
I mean,
Right, you want to celebrate with your friends, bring the whole crew,
and
right?
that's the thing too. When we're happy, we want people to join us in celebrating.
Yes.
And so sometimes your friends don't have it. I mean, I know that's the case. They may not have the money, so you're like, I got you. Yeah. And so then before you know it, I mean, you've picked up the tab for everybody. You're like, dog, that, my celebration, how did I end up paying for everybody through my celebration? Maybe they should have been paying for me.
And this is the time you want to tell them, go from right to left. Look at the price first before you make that order. When you pay.
Yes. And a lot of times you don't want to do that.
Right.
You want to treat yourself, but hey, you guys, you have to exercise wisdom when it comes to spending,
Yes.
and if we can get our emotions in check, then maybe we can learn how to pacify them in other ways than just spending money. Okay. So right now we're in the section of the show that we need to talk about our first sponsor of the day, and that is Elite Dental Wellness. And of course, we want to make sure that we give you guys the information here that you need to make sure that you keep your thing bright and shining. Okay, so Elite Dental Wellness is our vision. Elite Dental Wellness has a vision to create a welcoming practice that will offer exceptional dental care and a lifetime of dental wellness. We're committed to the finest possible oral care and the overall health and well-being of our patients. Elite Dental Wellness is built upon a foundation of integrity, expertise, and service. Through our commitment to modern dentistry, continuing education, and friendly atmosphere, we strive to make our patients feel that they are part of our family. Dentistry can be daunting, scary, and uncomfortable. Dr. Batiste and her team work tirelessly to ensure your comfort. Make your appointment today with Dr. Ashandra Batiste at Elite Dental Wellness. The number is 713-789-8680. And that's where we do the ding. So, okay, you guys. Now I want to get back to the article because that's just one of many things that it talks about. It's convicting all the way around. I just have to be honest. But the next thing it talks about, have you held off on investing because you're afraid? And, this is appropriate because we're in the series, our Financial Foundation series, where we're talking about investing. Fear is one of the most powerful emotions we have, and many people have never gotten started with retirement planning and investment because they are intimidated. We just talked about that. They may find the whole process of investing to be overwhelming, or they may have a fear of asking a dumb question.
No such thing.
No such thing. Additionally, they may fear that their investment will lose money. In reality, it's best to channel fear into investing more because not having enough money or having or save for retirement is a truly scary thought. So for me, I can relate to this because I was very intimidated with investing. And when I, first came into this industry, that was one of the main things that I was looking to eradicate is the fear about investing. Mm-hmm. And also the thought of losing money. Right. I was not with that at all.
See, and we talk about, this is such a powerful piece of the whole article. Going back to the workshops, getting that, like we said, empowering you to, eradicate that fear, and then being able to be comfortable investing, and you
Yes.
know what you're talking about, so no one can throw fancy numbers at you or any type of jargon that you're unfamiliar with.
And you
So-
know how we are. When people throw fancy stuff at us, we don't want to admit that we don't know.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. I understand.
Okay, yeah.
You know we don't know.
No.
And we don't want to say we don't know because we don't want to look like idiots. Well, when it comes to your money, it's okay to look like an idiot.
It's your money. You work so hard for it. Whew.
So you don't want to hide behind the mask of, I know, or I got it. It's best to be completely honest and say what you don't understand.
Yes.
And that's what I did.
And it goes to the dumb questions. We get people after our radio show. We're on Friends and Finances every second and fourth Wednesday.
Yes.
With the Houston Housewives of Finance on their radio show. And after we come on, people don't want to say anything publicly, so they'll send me a text or they'll send me a personal message and say, "Hey, can you help me with X, Y, and Z, or help me with so and so?"
People,
And it's like, hey, it's okay, to say you don't know. This is not something that we're taught in schools. This
Correct.
is not something that maybe our parents have passed down. So it's okay to find out that additional information.
So let's just kill that right now, you guys. We know that you don't know. Okay, we didn't know. We're still learning things too, and we're in the industry. We eat and breathe this every day. So we know you don't know. That's the reason that we have the money factor. And speaking of the money factor, we want you guys to go to thesphere.tv and subscribe. You have to subscribe so that you can watch this show in its entirety, because we're only on Facebook Live for 15 minutes. But if you subscribe, then now you're going to be able to stay in touch with everything that's going on with not only the Money Factor, but also the other shows that are part of the Sphere. So when you get there, we would like for you to not only like and subscribe, but share the show. Please write a review. Let us know what you think, what you want to see, how we can help you further. And then, of course, there's a donate button. So if you would like to donate, you can be a one-time patron. And as far as donating, there's a button there for that, a single donation, or you can donate monthly. I mean, we're about to do some really big things, and this is completely free to you, but we would love to have your donations to help us in our mission to continue bringing you this information and also the other things that we're discussing here on the Sphere. Fabulous place to be, to learn about things that can help you in your general life, not just money, but there's so many other things that you can learn here at the Sphere. So go like the show right now, this second, and make sure you like, share, follow, put it out there, you guys. Tell us what you think. But the only way that we're going to help the communities or the community of people is to be able to get educated through these forums and many other forums. So we want you to be able to share the show, okay? So getting back to the article. Now, when it talked about the fear factor, one of the fear being one of the strongest emotions, we do things out of fear, or we don't do things out of fear.
Right?
Yeah, and even biblically, it talks about you can't mix faith and fear together. They don't go together.
You can't be afraid and be strong in faith. Right?
You cannot, and so you cannot invest with being fearful. You have to eradicate that through education.
And the bottom half of that that paragraph talked about those in Generation X and baby boomers fear not having enough money for their retirement. Mm-hmm. As millennials, we fear not having enough money to get through the month, right? And I've talked about this before. So we have the power of time on our hand, and we'll talk about that more as we get into the article.
Yes.
But it's two different fears that we face at the same moment. But a fear of investing affects all three of those generations.
Absolutely. And I like that you brought that topic up, because we have a cycle of life with our finances. 18 through 24, we're really trying to impress upon that age group to have some discipline, develop some discipline, start saving. I know you're in the midst of a lot of peer pressure to spend. And then when you get to 25 to 50, it's like, man, okay, I have responsibilities, kids, mortgages, debt, credit cards, trying to save to send kids. There's a lot of things that you have to prepare for. So it's not like you have to tell them, that age group, you're going to have to be doing some things. It. Now you need to be more informed about options.
Correct.
And then I would venture to say also, too, tackling those fears. They become even it becomes more of a concern in that category of age group.
Yeah, you run out of time, so you
yeah,
have to do
you're
something
really
a little bit more
cognizant of
drastic.
time now. And then, of course, 50 and up, now you're thinking, oh my gosh, I mean, I saved a little bit, but I don't even know if it's enough. You know, how am I going to put all this together, make these things happen? How am I going to have continued growth? Oh my gosh, am I going to have enough money to last for my
Not only that, you hear that knocking, and that knocking is your job telling you, hey, sooner or later you gotta
exactly.
move on
And the
out.
pressure of, okay, every day I come to work, somebody younger is, passing down the hallway. They're going to get rid of me.
Yep.
So it's so many things. We have a cycle of life with our finances, and each cycle of life requires appropriate behavior with money during that cycle.
Correct.
Yes. So let's go back to the article and see what else the article has to say.
So it says, have you sold investments when you realized they lost value? We've probably all found ourselves frustrated with certain investments that have tanked and sold them at a loss. Of course, then we've kicked ourselves when we've seen those same investments rebound in short order. It's not a good practice to be emotional when investing. The most successful investors practice discipline, patience, and steadfastness over the course of many years. Now, this part, as far as not letting go too soon and not hanging on, that's
nice
hard
to
little
do.
balance, right?
I don't know how it's tough to be able to get that. That's where you need some guidance. You need a financial professional to help you in that part. Now, that's a place where people tend to really kind of lose their emotion, because when you see what you've had the discipline to save to start to go in the negative, I mean, that's when you like, okay, it's the natural tendency to want to save, to salvage.
Yes.
And not to continue to go in that direction. That's a national.
that emoji with the little eyes where it's looking over, like,
that's
what
oh my
you
gosh.
constantly peeking at your investment, and that's something that you shouldn't do. That's the type of discipline that you have to practice. If you're checking on it every day, if you're not in that industry where you have to look and change stocks every day, you don't want to peek every day, because it's going to give you so much anxiety.
You're gonna have anxiety. You're gonna be stressed out. You're gonna be like, "Oh, I don't know." And with the market is so active, the market is moving as we speak. It closes at the end of the day, but throughout the day, it's moving, it's fluctuating. And if you're that person that on your smartphone device, you keep checking it and checking it. I mean, you gotta chill.
Yeah, unless you're gonna keep moving it, just let it do what it does, and then trust the numbers.
Yeah,
trust your advice that you received beforehand, or your research.
Yes,
and let it perform.
I mean, you gotta chill. This is a place where you gotta let nature take its course when it comes to the market, and we're going to talk about that a little bit more in the episode today with in the Saving Your Future book. How not to be an emotional investor. Which ties right into this article we're talking about.
Yes.
So again, these things are easier said than done, but in order for you to gain some convictions about these things, you have to practice them. You actually have to do them.
Yeah, practice makes better. And,
it makes better, and it puts you in a better situation.
Yes, you can find several things. I'm always introducing apps and things to millennials, but you can find a lot of places online where you can practice your investing. They give you a set amount of money where you can put in and invest, very risky or very conservative, and see how you perform.
Absolutely. And we have those things available too, to be able to assist you. So when you sit down and do a personal financial strategy, I know some of my clients, Ahmad, I don't know about you, but some of my clients, they always want to enter into the conversation, and they enter it like on tippy toes. Well, I'm kind of interested in investing, and then they pull back, and I'm like, don't be ashamed to say that you're interested in it. It's a good thing to be interested in it, and it's also okay to say that, but I don't know very much about it. And so there's ways for you to ease into it, graduate into more aggressive, and then get into full-blown risk. I mean, there's ways for you to be able to do that.
Yes. As we get further down into the article, I'll tell you with our millennial clients, when they talk about investing, this article speaks perfectly to
let's go back to
millennials want to invest.
Let's go back and see what we have here, okay? Have you ever bought something out of jealousy? Woo! I mean, are they not touching on every point?
Keeping up with the Joneses.
Exactly. One of our closest friends just bought a big house in a nice neighborhood. Another just bought a fancy car. It can seem like other people are making out better than you, but this is no excuse to spend irresponsibly. Let me repeat that.
Yes, please.
It can appear that other people are making out better than you. That's all. I mean, every day, all around. That's never going to stop. But it is no excuse to spend irresponsibly. Keeping up with the Joneses is the path to financial hardship if you spend simply because you felt left out or jealous. Wrong thing to do is to try to keep up with the Jones. I wonder who originally were the Joneses.
Right?
I mean, what did they have? Because everybody been chasing them.
They're always the topic of discussion, as we talked about a couple Wednesdays ago when you had the millennials on your show. We were talking about not looking at that little snapshot that people give you on social media and trying to keep up with that, but taking a look at the whole picture, but knowing your situation, right? We post on all our affiliates.
Oh, exactly.
Oh man,
you guys, let me tell you. First of all, this topic alone, I mean, we could go a whole
podcast about that.
Just about trying to keep up with other people. You have to learn to be content where you are. And I mean, everybody has their time. But then again, the major thing is you don't know what's going on in somebody else's situation.
So
it's really kind of like a domino effect. This person's keeping up with this person. They trying to keep up with the person behind them and behind them, behind them, behind them. And the problem is everybody's falling financially. Mm-hmm. You just maybe you don't even see it, but you don't even understand what people are going through just to make themselves look good. We know that exists. Don't fall into it. It's a trap. It's a trap. It's a trap. It's a trap. Don't fall into it. Okay. And so now we're in the portion of the show that we want to talk about our next sponsor, which happens to be one of my favorites, the Sphere.tv. And so are you starting your business and looking for a place to advertise? Do you have a need to reach out to thousands of people across the world to build your brand or sell your product? If so, get your product placement and advertising needs handled right here at the Sphere. We offer a wide variety of content delivery platforms, including iTunes, Google Play, SoundCloud, YouTube, and Stitcher. Plus, we have a vast demographic reach within the United States, as well as modern countries across the globe. Our enriched content and inspiring dialogue, coupled with our strategic ad, is surely to hit the mark every time. Call us today at area code 832-772-7789 or send an email over to advertise@thesphere.tv. You guys, so this is the place you want to be if you're starting a business, to get your business out there, to get your business boosted, to bring about brand awareness. You got to contact the Sphere. Okay? So let's go back to the article, Ahmad.
Okay, so this is what I was talking about earlier. This is when the millennials decide they want to invest. At the office every time around this season, around this harvest time, right? We call this one of our harvest times, is when we get millennials come knocking at our door, coming into the office and talking about investments.
So why do you call it this? Why is the harvest time? Why?
They have the money and they're just ready to spend it. So this is where you plant the seeds, and this is where retailers and everybody who has a chance.
So summer months?
No, this is the beginning months right here that we're going to talk about in the article. This is that January through, I would say, early April.
Okay.
Where you have a lot of retailers just ringing in the dollars, and you have everybody want to invest. And
okay.
So we'll get
I
into
just
it.
learned something. I didn't know you guys had like that harvest type.
Man, you get so excited around this time as a young millennial.
Oh, okay. So that's good to know.
Right.
So let's go back to the article and see what it has to say.
So it says, do you get excited about getting a tax return? Dun, 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 dun. It's an often ignored fact that if you're getting a tax refund, you've been lending money to the government interest-free all year.
We've been saying that. Yes.
Remember, this was your money that you should have had all along. And yet, most people get a rush of excitement from getting a tax return. What's worse, people often treat their tax return like an unexpected windfall and spend it frivolously. The sound, unemotional approach to taxes is to adjust your withholding so that you don't get a return at all. In fact, even owing a small amount to the IRS is okay as long as you don't pay a penalty. So that last portion is going to go over a lot of people's head, and they're just going to close their eyes to it, and they don't want to hear about
You
that.
guys, that's another thing not to fall into. Remember, when you get a return, you have loaned them money. Unless the only circumstance where that wouldn't be applicable is if you're a business owner and you have a lot of deductions, or you've got expenses that far outweigh your profit. But you need to check your deductions at your job.
Yes.
The ideal situation is you can say, yo, Uncle Sam, I don't owe you and you don't owe me.
We're even.
We're good. That's the best position to be in. And I want to go back to the point where it talks about if you do get it, you treat it like an unexpected windfall.
Yes.
Well, windfalls, how they come through. They come through quick and then they're gone. And that's what happens to your check when you get it.
Yes.
It comes in quick and then it's gone because you've already pre-planned how you're going to blow it.
You work so hard and you plan for months for Christmas. You blow all this money at Christmas because you're like, in just a couple weeks, I'm going to get my tax return and I'm going to do X, Y, and Z.
Wrong.
That's why I say it's harvest time for the retailers and those who...
I see what you're saying. I thought you meant for the millennials.
No.
But yes.
We give it away.
Retailers love this time of year. They know you're going to buy a car and hopefully you'll keep it. They know you're going to... you do see that. You see people making astronomical purchases that they cannot maintain.
Yes, and you notice all the advertising switch to what you're going to do with that.
With your tax
refund here.
Refund, yes.
Get your refund here.
Yes.
All this is predicated towards the refund because they know that
know
it's
time. It's coming.
So
you guys don't do it.
As far as millennial investing, they get their refund like, hey, I have a little money. How can I invest? And we just go right back to the 3 steps that you guys talked about previously. Do you have any debt? Do you have any protection? How's your debt? Where's your emergency fund?
Yes.
Let's get those in order before we talk about investing. And then that stops the conversation right there.
Right.
And we go back down. Which
is good that you brought that up as well, because oftentimes we jump into investing and our house has not been built properly. Or it's not even built at all. I mean, we don't have proper protection. We have zero in an account for an emergency fund. True. Our debt is way out of control, but we want to jump into investing. And so there's a proper way to handle. That's the reason why we've gone through building the proper financial foundation, because you need to have a solid house built before you start jumping into investing. It's at the roof at the top for a reason.
Yep. And
that's because you need that solid footing before you actually get into investing. You want to make sure that everything else is, we used to say, I don't know if Gary remembers this word, copacetic. You want to make sure everything else is solid, especially, because you get into investing and that when you do tip into those chart into those waters, you could lose money. Yes. Okay. We understand that. If you don't understand that, you need to understand that you could lose money. However, if something happens, you need to make sure, okay, my emergency fund is solid. So if I lose out over here and something happens, I have a stash to be able to take care of things that I need to take care of. I'm not sacrificing getting rid of some debt. When I say sacrificing, some of the money, the reason we ask you to, in the foundation, deal with your debt first, because you don't want to be over here investing, but
you owe somebody.
But you owe, you owe a bunch of people.
Yes.
And your disposable income, that should be, a portion of that should be put towards taking care of debt, that you're taking all of it and just paying the minimum on your debt and then now you want to go invest.
Man,
there's a healthy balance in this.
It was something you said back in 2016. I'll never forget, at one of our Tuesday nights, and you talked about investing. And you was like, I typically say, how much do you have to lose? And then that pretty much stops the conversation.
Exactly.
So when people, you said when people approach you about investing, you say, how much do you have to lose? And a lot of times people,
look
take a step back like, what do you mean how much? Because it's a risk.
It is a risk. And so I do ask my clients, if you have the money to lose and it won't bother you, then there's all kinds of things you can jump in. But if you can't afford the loss, then you shouldn't get into certain types of investing, because all investment does not carry risk.
Correct.
And we're going to talk about that a little bit more in the Saving Your Future book when we jump in it here. But let's go back to the article and see what else it has to say. Have you ever sought a refund anticipation loan or payday loan? Okay, now this is something that I have a real problem with, okay? The same psychology that governs the love of tax return also applies to those who seek money before it's due to them, okay? If you are seeking cash early, you may end up paying exorbitant fees for interest rates. A typical payday loan might have an annual interest rate of 400%.
Please read that again.
400. This is typical. It says a typical.
Wow.
400%, you guys. That's insane. That should be against the law, according to the Consumer Financial Protection Bureau. So, my gosh. And I want to say this. Make note that these type of lenders are in certain types of neighborhoods.
If you drive through, I was just going to say that if you drive through certain communities and neighborhoods, you'll see all these places popping up on
payday loan places.
Car loan, title loan, all
are typically located in low income areas.
Correct.
They're not in your suburban areas. They're not going to be in your upscale. They're not located over there but when you drive through those neighborhoods, what do you see? The Charles Schwabs, the Ernst & Youngs, the Edward Jones. But you go to the lower income neighborhoods,
see title loans.
You see title loan places, payday loans, cash advance places, these type of things. So what's wrong with that picture?
It's very bad. If you go back to the rule of 72, it'll just give you nightmares when you're seeing that 400% on the interest rate.
That's crazy.
That's ridiculous.
That's crazy. And you have people who, they're not even seeing their paychecks, but because of the payday loans are taking it before they even get it. The solution to that is sit down with a financial professional like Ahmad or myself. Do a personal financial strategy, allocate the funds that you have coming in, create an emergency fund so you won't have to go get a $500 loan on a 2-week borrow plan, and then they're going to charge you 400% interest on it.
And that's what I say. Next Tuesday, be at our office.
There you go.
We'll talk about debt management and cash flow, and then we'll show you exactly where you can get the payday loan money that you were going to get, the low 100, 200, because it's based off of credit.
Yes.
And so your credit is probably not that. If you're in this situation, I'm pretty sure that the other things
are not quite right
I'm
either.
going to safely make that assumption, right?
Yes.
So we'll show you how you can easily get the money which you already have available that you're just spending frivolously somewhere else.
Yes.
And then we'll make sure that you no longer have to go to those places. These workshops, I'm telling you, are so very powerful that it's, what do you say? It's the soul. What they said in Hawaii, it's the soul of our business, right?
Yes, it is the soul of our business. And it's, I love that education is becoming the soul of everything that's related to money, because now it equips us as consumers and also savers and also wealth builders. And also, I could go on and on. Education is the foundation of just about anything.
Yes.
But when it comes to money, it is so pertinent that you get this education. So you have to contact us to get a copy of the Saving Your Future book, which you can see right there.
Right over your shoulder.
Yes. Saving Your Future book. You need to have that. It's a financial Bible that should be sitting, in several places in your house. At work, in your desk drawer, in your car, wherever you want to have it, but you need it. Give us a call at 1-844-700-4463 to get your copy. You can also email me at LaShondaJ@HoustonHousewivesOfFinance.com.
And you can email me at ahmad.scott01@gmail.com.
You can reach out to us on all of our social media outlets. We're the Houston Housewives of Finance official. If it doesn't say official, it's not us.
I love that
Also,
part.
you've got Millennials and Money.
Yes.
You have
Men
and Money. You guys can reach out through us through Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, LinkedIn, Snapchat, Meetup. Google us. There's so many ways to reach out to us so that we can get a copy of this book in your hands. And also, you want to accompany that with an appointment for a personal financial strategy.
How much will that appointment cost?
$0. It's complimentary. It just costs your time. Let me tell you. And because it doesn't cost you anything doesn't mean that it doesn't carry the weight of gold and value. You guys have to understand how important it is to have a plan so you know where you're going.
Yes, you get that baseline, you know where you're at, so you'll know where you can go in the future. And then we can help you every step of the way, regardless of what your financial strategy is and what your situation. We can tailor a specific plan personally.
That's
for
the reason
you.
why it's called personal.
Yes, to help you get to where you need to go.
It's specific to you. And I want to, even go out on a limb and say that, when you do schedule that appointment and come in, just having that peace of mind, knowing I know exactly what I need to do, it will expose some things that you're not doing.
It's not going to be pretty at first.
It's not, but it's satisfying knowing, okay, I know what I'm not doing. It's nothing like knowing, having clarity so that you can make the right decisions. And so with that, we're at this segment in the show that we need to talk about our last sponsor. And this is one that's pretty cool. I really like it. This is Kog Company. And Kog Company allows you to be able to purchase items that are unique in order to allow you to unleash your dopeness.
I like that.
I like that.
Dopeness,
yes,
right?
yes. So are your unique gifts and talents changing the world? Unleash Your Dopeness is a people empowerment movement built to encourage the masses to operate outside of their fears, talking about fears, and have the gall to recklessly pursue their dreams and passion in life through thousands of others as we unlock the greatness that dwells inside. Shop gear at kogpassion.com. That's kogpassion.com, and use the coupon code DOPE for 10% off exclusive Unleash Your Dopeness apparel. Act now, sizes are selling out fast. So Unleash Your Dopeness apparel.
Have the audacity to be dope. Right?
Yes, I love it. I love it. Okay, so let's get back to the article. I'm not sure how much is left here, but are you an habitual gambler?
So this touches me. And when I read this, I put the article away, took a deep breath, and had to get back into it.
Are you a gambler?
I didn't know I was. I played the daily sports fantasy leagues.
Oh.
Right? So it was sports. I was just into it, and I didn't realize, well, I'm putting money up for it each and every time. That's gambling. I found that out the hard way. So even though it may seem harmless.
Okay, well, we're going to let you read this one.
So it says, are you a habitual gambler? Let's face it, gambling can be exciting. It very is. It's a rush when you place a bet on some ponies and see your horse cross the finish line first. It's a thrill to see your ball land on your number, but gambling is ultimately an emotionally driven experience, and the excitement of winning can be addicting. Betting on a few hands of blackjack or occasional football game won't kill you, but it's important that it's important to not let your emotions guide your betting habits. There's a long list of fine people who have ruined their financial lives through gambling.
Yes, a lot of them. It's a lot of celebrities.
Wow, we hear
about it all the time. And me, because I don't like losing money, that has never been anything interesting to me to gamble. I don't like. I work too hard for my money, so I'm like, I'm not interested in losing it in just the roll of a dice.
Yes.
But you have people that like the adrenaline, like it says, the rush that it brings to win. But hey, I want to win overall in the long run. So I'm like, I'm not interested. And if I do it, it's just for entertainment purposes only. And I always set aside $20.
And that's all.
And that's it. That's all you're going to get from me. $20.
Oh, man.
I'm not willing to do any more. But you guys, if you have a gambling problem, there are places you can go for help for that. Gamblers Anonymous, whatever you need to do. You cannot let habits like that control your life.
Correct.
So especially you're not going to be able to build any wealth.
And speaking on investments, people gamble that way. They go very aggressively with their investing, and they just gamble it and they play it.
Very good point. Mm-hmm. People can maybe not go to the casinos, but they're gamblers when it comes to investing.
Correct.
I mean, they're obsessive with gambling in the market.
Yeah, because
that's not good either.
They'll get the big gain, a 200% upswing, and then they want to put more down or switch it somewhere else, and it's very hard to catch those things. You sometimes you have to let it ride out to take these ups and downs. So,
So you guys, hey, this article is touching every sore spot. So we've got 2 more to discuss. Let's go to the article and see what else is here. Do you give a lot of money to children and other family members? That's me. That's me. Okay. This is me. This is my problem. I've actually gotten better, but this used to be a really, really, really bad problem for me. There's nothing wrong with being generous to those people who you care about the most, but it's important to not let people take advantage of that generosity. Oh my gosh, this was me. Often the decision to support a family member or friend is done not out of basic selfishness, but a feeling of obligation or guilt. It's important not to let your feeling of obligation to others outweigh your obligation to yourself. Wow. I mean, that took a long time for me to come to terms with that, because I've been blessed to make very good income throughout my career and working and owning businesses. And I always felt like, man, if somebody asked me for something, I felt bad or guilty for saying no if I had it.
Right?
And that was my thing. Oh, I have it. Oh my gosh. Oh. And then I realized that last sentence, I've got to take care of me first. And so in some cases I would sacrifice taking care of me, or not so much as taking care of me, but it affected me being able to put away money for later, because I was giving. I err on the side of being a giver, and I'm very selfless in that way. And so if that's you, it's okay to be a giver, but you have to pull back the reins and have some constraint, exercise some constraint.
Definitely, when you're a selfless person, you want to give,
and people will take advantage of it.
And if you're used to dealing with like, oh, I can maintain.
It's okay. I'll be all right. Yes. This person really needs it, or
And when you get yourself into a bind, that emergency or something comes up, or
none of those people
trip
can.
that you can't go right back for it, right?
No,
so
can't.
I always say, don't ask to borrow something from me. Ask, can you have it? Because if you say that borrow word, I'm gonna expect it back. So just say, can I have it? And I'll just give it and never expect it back.
Well, I like that you say that, because I said that to my kids. I was like, okay, you guys stop saying, Mom, can I borrow? Because you don't ever give it back. Just say, can I have?
Yes.
And then another good rule of thumb is don't loan out what you can't afford not to have back.
That's another topic that we can have a whole another show on.
Yes.
Because people have to understand the concept of that, of what you can't afford to give out.
If you're going to be strapped for it and you have to have it back, the thing is, if you give it out, you may not get it back. So listen, if you can't afford to not have it back, you need to think twice about giving it out. Okay? And last but not least,
we have you lost a job due to your temper? So this is a lot of millennials right here. This is jobs can be frustrating, but you've ever flown off the handle at work? You may be threatening your income and job security. While it's true that hiring managers look for workers with specific skill sets, they also want to make sure employees are able to get along with their colleagues.
Absolutely.
Workers who don't interact well with their peers or respond poorly to criticism often don't last long. So coming from my background being in a manager, I did retail as well. When I came back to Houston in 2012, I had a lot of young people. I wanted to give them an opportunity, let them work, and they had a lot of potential to move up into management, but it was that attitude portion where it's like you have to say something back. You don't always have to say something back. You don't always have to have the last word. And people, oh, they're trying me and they're doing this and that. This is your job. Smile
exactly. I mean, the attitude of the attitude. I mean, we need to get rid of that.
Yes.
I mean, because people don't owe you anything.
No.
I know I used to tell my granddaughter, she's full of attitude. I mean, like full of attitude. And so I used to tell her all the time, you get in trouble in school, first of all, those people don't have to deal with you. We're your family. We have to deal with you. But other people don't have to deal with you. So I want to say at your job, those people can fire you. Do you know Texas is an at-will state? They don't have to have they don't have to have a reason to let you go.
That's tough for people to understand.
Yeah.
The at-will
you can
state.
have the little attitude and the snap. You will be out the door. And then, you have, and that also develops That's a very bad character to have, where you have this snappy attitude, and you know, you feel like you have this entitlement, or you get mad and you blow off the handle, and you burn a lot of bridges. That's going to affect your financial future.
Let's talk about
because
it
you're going to
financially.
carry that with you everywhere you
Right?
go.
So when people, the common word you hear, I'm grown, no one can tell me this or that.
Oh, my
well,
Lord.
Your job is telling you where you can live, what you can drive, where you can vacation, what you can afford.
It is.
Because they're giving
They're
you,
dictating
they're
your
paying
income.
Right? But that's something that you don't want to be grown about and face your finances or
Exactly.
step up. You rather be comfortable in that situation.
Oh my gosh! Can you look at that coming straight from the mouth of a millennial? You need to understand that. That's so important.
Yes.
So, I mean, you're not wearing the big girl panties just yet. Okay. Correct. You have to grow into them. So you need to be smart about how you handle yourself in any situation. You know, even if you're an entrepreneur, your clients make your business. So you've got to be smart with, get your emotions and feelings in check.
Right,
you know?
Kendrick Lamar was just here, Saturday? And his
Oh,
song,
was he?
Be Humble.
Oh, I love that song. I love that song.
To a lot of people, right?
It does.
Be humble.
He says, sit down, you know. You know, and we do. In a lot of cases, you do need to bite your tongue. You don't have to say everything. I'm not saying compromise your morals and ethics and let people walk over you. But sometimes, and that's the whole thing. This article talks about, are your emotions costing you money?
Yes.
Your emotions in your workplace can cost you money, can cost you a promotion, can cost you a lot of things. Get your emotions in check.
Yes. And as again, going back to, you know, when I was in the W-2 world managing, we had a young lady who was very, very talented. She knew more than, you know, us managers, but her attitude kept her back, and everyone was afraid to promote her. Like, oh, if we put her in this position, now you're the face of the company. You're the face of,
and nobody wants to deal with that.
We're afraid that, you know, you're going to
damage the yes,
and that's a risk that some people aren't willing to take. So they'll bring somebody up who's maybe not as experienced, and
groom them because they don't have to deal with attitude. Yes,
exactly. So
absolutely,
a little behind the curtains, they analyze every single thing. So your attitude matters. That time that you smacked your teeth, rolled your eyes, or something, people pay attention to every single thing, especially when money's involved.
Absolutely.
And you can possibly cost them money.
And their business, at the end of the day, the bottom line for their business matters more than them trying to please you. I mean, and I always say to people, let me tell you, the day that you start affecting the bottom line of a business is the day that you'll be gone.
Yes.
They're not going to let you destroy their company. They're not going to do it. They'll get rid of you first.
Yes, especially pertaining to sports. You can be very talented, but they'll only put up with so much before they bounce you
Their
out.
tolerance will soon run out dealing with you because it's too much talent. It's too many people. It's the job market is flooded with people that will do the right thing and have the right attitude. So check your character. Notice I said not your actions, your character, because your character is the thing that molds the decisions and how you handle things.
So this article touched everyone.
I'm sure single thing.
From each little paragraph, someone, if you're not all of them, at least one of them touched you.
Something touched you. I know it. You know, at least 3 of them did for me.
Yes.
You know, and so it's a good reality check. And with that, we're going to go into the Saving Your Future book. We don't have a lot of time left, so we're going to skip all the way to the one that talks about your emotions. And this is on page 67 in the Saving Your Future book. And again, if you don't have this book, shame on you, because this is now what episode 66 episodes talking about money in all ways, all shapes, all fashions. And then, I mean, this is 66 of unlimited amounts to come. But you should have the book.
The book is 86 pages, mainly graphs, mainly charts, and it's a wealth of information.
Yes, and this is a time where people are traveling. You could read this book on a flight.
Yes.
You know, you could take some time in the evening and read it. I mean, it's not a hard read. I'm telling you, I cannot tell you how much you will be blessed by reading this book and how much it will increase your confidence about the decisions you're making with money. So anyway, going to the last page where it talks about don't be too emotional. Okay. Good created economics to make weather forecasts look, God, not good. God created economists to make weather forecasts look good. I don't know who said that, but the weather always does what it does best. It changes all the time. Okay. If you live in Texas and Houston, you know exactly what we're talking about.
Yes.
What do we expect the stock market to do? The stock market does what it always does. It changes all the time, every day. However, most people want to beat the stock market. You cannot, okay? Although the weather changes, it's somewhat predictable. It gets cold in the winter, warmer in the spring, hot in the summer, and cooler in fall. You may not know how stock changes every day, but in the last 100 years, they went up and down and up and down again. That's what they do. But as it is as it fluctuated over and over again, it has historically moved up over time. Okay? So the problem is most people want to know the short-term ups and downs, and they forget about the long-term growth potential. Emotional investing is very, very dangerous. You know, you don't want to do that. That's not the person you want to be when it comes to investing.
That's playing peekaboo, taking a look, and no, I want to.
Yes,
you have to stay. If you're gonna be in, stay in.
Please, right? People, let it do what it does. It's gonna do what it does. Let it do what it do.
Right.
You just have to chill. And again, if you understand how it works, if you have some education, then you can appreciate what the market does, and I always say the places that you're going to invest in, go and make sure you put money in those places. Support those places.
That's one of the rule that Warren Buffett talks about is don't invest somewhere where you don't shop, right?
Exactly.
Mm-hmm. So if you don't need a Panera, don't invest in Panera.
Right. If I'm going to eat there, I'm like, okay, I like the food. Let me put my money there. Mm-hmm. So you guys, get the book, read some more information. We're not done. We're going to be talking about investing more next week. Same place, same time, right here at the Money Factor in the Sphere. We hope that you tune in. Please go and like the show, share the show, write a review, push the donate button. Let us know what we can do for you, because we're going to do everything we can to help you increase your knowledge with inspiring dialogue about money here on the Money Factor. So we'll see you next week, same time, same place. Bye-bye.
Bye.